Alright, my name is Kyle, this is Ryan, and welcome back to episode 1 of Wanzo Sports Talk. Alright, so episode 1 of Wanzo Sports Talk, we are doing, like I said in the last video, the 2017 NFL mock draft. We both have already researched everything, so actually before we get into the video, I have one thing to say. This channel is all about communicating with the viewers. So if you have absolutely any opinions, like, oh Kyle, you're an idiot, you should have picked this person instead of that person, just leave it down below and we will 100% comment back.
I did all the even numbers, right? Or I did all the odd numbers and he did all the even. So if we don't have like one of the best players, so maybe we like missed somebody like really good because we thought the other person would take him. Like, we might not have every single best player. So
yeah, so he has pick number 1, I have pick number 2, then we're just gonna alternate all the way to 32, but we're gonna do separate it into 2 separate videos. So this video part 1 will be to 16 picks, and then second video will be posted
17 to 32.
Yeah, 17 to 32 will be posted right after this video, so make sure to go check that out after we finish this. But I think we're gonna hop right into this with pick number 1 in the 2017 NFL draft. We have
Alright, so we have the Cleveland Browns drafting Myles Garrett out of Texas A&M, defensive lineman. Easily the best player in the whole entire draft. 6'5", he ran a 4.64 40. So for a defensive lineman, that's absolutely crazy. So you can't really pass up on this guy because there's rumors that they're going to take Mitch Trubisky, number 1 overall. But you know, when they need an actual trading, or not a trading block, but a starting block on their organization and their team, this is the guy that they need to go with.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. All right, for the second pick in the 2017 NFL draft, the 49ers will select Solomon Thomas, DN from Stanford, 6'2", 273 pounds. In his senior year at Stanford, he had 62 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks, which were all team highs. He's just a pass rusher, explosive, and it makes sense for him to go to the 49ers. One reason is because John Lynch, general manager of the 49ers, has connections with the coaching staff at Stanford. And second of all, the 49ers defensive line, probably one of the worst in the league. I know they just got Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner, 2 defensive tackles that they got last year, I think, that they thought would do good. But they really just ended up clogging the hole and really did nothing productive. They allowed 6 straight 100-yard rushes, and yeah, so that's why they're getting Solomon Thomas to basically help them. Well, 49ers need help everywhere, but Solomon Thomas to the 49ers.
Alright, so with the third pick, the Chicago Bears, we have taking Malik Hooker, the safety out of Ohio State. He's 6'1", and the Bears secondary is just terrible. They're releasing their veterans, so they need somebody who can go out there and command their defense. He can go out there, be a great leader. He's a ball hawk. I don't know if you can put his highlight of him like making one of the greatest interceptions like in college last season, but very good at using like the quarterback's eyes to determine where he's going to throw the ball. Great at reading the plays, great play recognition, and you know, if he's thrown at him, he's going to get picked off.
I agree with that. The 4th pick in the 2017 NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars will select Leonard Fournette from LSU, the running back, 6'2", 240 pounds, absolute beast. I think he's going to the Jaguars mainly to take pressure off Blake Bortles. With his downhill and physical run, it literally just is absolutely insane. I think he could be the next Adrian Peterson. And with Chris Ivory and TJ Yeldon, first of all, Chris Ivory's getting old, 29 years old, and they all have injuries. So just to have Leonard Fournette there as a backup, I don't even think he'll be a backup, but
no, he'll start.
He'll work his way into the starting position, and I think he can. I know he can, and will be the next Adrian Peterson, maybe even better.
With the 5th pick, we have the Tennessee Titans taking. It's Tennessee Titans pick from the Los Angeles Rams. They had to trade. Taking the cornerback from Ohio State, Marshawn Lattimore, 6-foot corner, 4'3", 640, and very good at using his hands at the line of scrimmage. So the Titans really don't have great cornerback or secondary help. So having him being a very physical corner at the line of scrimmage, jamming the wide receivers, is going to help them very much, help their offense get back on the field. Probably he is the best corner in the whole entire draft. The only problem with him is that he's had hamstring injuries, which could make him drop a little bit. But if he stays non-injury, like prone, he'll be great in this league.
With the 6th pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets will select Mitch Trubisky out of North Carolina, 6'2", 220-pound quarterback. Main reason I say this is because Jets are in high need of a quarterback. They haven't had a franchise quarterback in years, and I think Mitch Trubisky is the one. I know there's a lot of debate going on about who's the best quarterback. Who's Frazier?
DeShone
Kaiser, and Watson, Deshaun Watson. And I think Mitch Trubisky, I think they're all good quarterbacks. Mitch Trubisky has only 6 picks his senior year with 62% completion rate. And the other 2 quarterbacks, Kaiser and Deshaun Watson, both have, I think, it has to be over 10, maybe over 15 interceptions on the year. And the only problem I would have with Mitch Trubisky is that 98% of his dropbacks came from shotgun, and he has to switch up his footwork and technique to get used to taking under center in the NFL. But other than that, Mitch Trubisky to the Jets could be a game changer for the offense.
All right, so with the 7th pick, we have the Los Angeles Chargers, not the San Diego Chargers anymore, but the Los Angeles Chargers taking Taco Charlton. His name's Taco, out of Michigan, defensive end. So Los Angeles Chargers last year, they took Joey Bosa, I think with the 4th pick. I think it was the 4th pick, could have been the 5th or 6th, but pairing Taco Charlton with Joey Bosa can probably end up being one of the best defensive line combos in the near future. So they can't really pass up on a guy like this, even though those guys like Jonathan Allen and Taco Charlton, I think, will have a better scheme in Los Angeles than Jonathan Allen will, especially coming from Michigan, very physical college in their conference. So Taco Charlton, I think, would be the way.
The 8th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers will select the running back from Florida State, Dalvin Cook, 5'10", 210 pounds. It was, when choosing this, it was kind of like in between. It's like a 50-50 shot at this. He might not go this early, Dalvin Cook, but I can definitely see him going to the Panthers with Stewart. Just like I like to make this comparison with the Steelers with Le'Veon Bell and D'Angelo Williams. They both have amazing running backs. So if one gets injured, there's another one.
That's what I had written down.
Yeah. So just in case Stewart gets injured, he's a great running back. He is getting old. Dalvin Cook is going to be the future. Although he's not a strong inside runner, he can and always will take it to the outside. And once he does take it to the outside, he just gets loose.
Mm-hmm. And not just that, he's also really good at receiving. So
true.
With Cam Newton, or with Panthers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Cam Newton, that would be crazy.
Yeah, it takes a lot of pressure off Cam Newton and Stewart when he needs a rest, and he will also learn to hit the hole harder, because that's what you need to do in the NFL by Stewart. So that's who I have, either him or Christian McCaffrey, that I think will. No, it's gonna be Dalvin Cook if anything, just because he's a safer pick. Christian McCaffrey, great running back. I have him going later in the round, but it's not the zone scheme. He's not in the scheme. Carolina runs a power scheme, and Dalvin Cook is the best one to fit in Carolina.
What's it called? Carolina also runs a lot of shotguns, so Dalvin Cook will fit there better than Christian McCaffrey.
True.
All right, so with the 9th pick, we have Cincinnati Bengals taking, I think, the second best player in the whole entire draft, Reuben Foster out of Alabama, the linebacker. He's probably one of the best linebacker prospects in the past 5 years.
Agreed.
He's got great speed. He can play sideline to sideline, great at tackling. He has great hit power.
Have you seen that kid hit?
If you show the
That
highlights,
kid can hit.
If you show the highlights, you'll see it.
Which could be positive and negative at times.
But the only problem with him is that he's had off the field issues during the combine, so that could make him fall a little bit further. But if it's the Bengals, they need somebody who can command that defense, who can actually make a tackle there and actually make their defense take a step forward. So Reuben Foster is probably the second best player in the draft, and I would take him if I was the Bengals.
I agree that you need the mean boys on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Buffalo Bills with the 10th pick. They're taking Mike Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson, 6'4", 218 pounds. My opinion, best receiver in this draft.
Mm-mm.
No?
Go ahead.
All right, that's something we can argue about a little later. But I think this kid is going to be the best receiver in the draft. Buffalo Bills are in need of a top wide receiver to pair with Sammy Watkins, who was a former player at Clemson as well. And I just made this comparison. I don't know if it's fully like correct, but Deshaun Watson and Tyrod Taylor are similar players, I think, in my opinion, and they do play alike. So from going to Deshaun Watson's favorite target in in college, Mike Williams can easily go to Tyrod Taylor's favorite target or maybe second favorite in the NFL as well. It's going to make a great transition into the NFL, and I think the Buffalo Bills is going to be the best fit for him.
On to pick 11 with the New Orleans Saints. You could see a possible trade here, but we didn't do trades during this mock draft. But I have them taking Jamal Adams, LSU, the safety. Ever since letting Malcolm Jenkins go to the Eagles, probably ending up being one of the best safeties in the NFL, from my favorite team. They've missed him 100%, and Jamal Adams can be a lot better than Malcolm Jenkins in the future. Great run stuffer as a safety, great at blitzing, great at coverage, ball hawk. He can do everything. He's kind of small, but he still has great hit power, and their secondary is one of the worst in the NFL. I think it was ranked last in passing yards allowed, so having him go over the top and make some plays can definitely help that defense.
On to the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the Cleveland Browns. This could be a little risky, but I think they will get Jonathan Allen, DN from Alabama. Absolute monster, even though he's more of a D tackle because he doesn't have the lateral quickness needed to get around the edge. I think this could be huge. One reason is because it's almost like a guarantee that they're getting Myles Garrett as the first pick. So if they secure Jonathan Allen too,
those two would be crazy.
Yeah, I know. All right, so
the two best defensive linemen in the draft.
100%. Jonathan Allen Jonathan Allen, One Nation's Top Defender Award, 69 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks, which he led the team in all of them, and first team All SEC, finished second in the SEC with 12 sacks. I think the opportunity is crazy for the Browns to have probably what can be one of the best defensive lines in the NFL in a couple of years.
So with the 13th pick, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking the tight end from Alabama, O.J. Howard. This isn't probably their top priority in the draft to address, but O.J. Howard probably being one of the best tight ends that we've seen in a while come out of the draft, especially being a guy who has a speed of a wide receiver. Is somebody that you won't see ever again, probably for another not ever again, probably for another 5-10 years. But great speed, great hands. Played for Alabama, pretty big school, so he played double coverage, triple coverage, and still produced very well there. Arizona Cardinals are usually known for taking offensive players, offensive wide receivers, signing wide receivers, so I wouldn't be afraid if they do take him and then pairing him with David Johnson in the backfield to take pressure off Carson Palmer.
All right, I agree. With the 14th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles will select Garion. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, he's a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm a Steelers fan. We'll get to that in the second video. But Garion Conley, cornerback out of Ohio State, compared to Aqib Talib, frequently has good top-end speed and can challenge and defend passes at really any level, even though he's only 6 foot. Mm-hmm. And since the Eagles, they are.
We have the.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
They are in desperate need of a cornerback, just secondary.
Our best cornerback was a 7th round pick last year.
Yeah.
Our 7th round pick was our best cornerback. That's how bad it is.
So I think he would be a major key to the secondary. They're desperate for someone like him, and yeah, they need a player like Conley to fulfill their needs and struggles in the secondary.
With the 15th pick, we have the Indianapolis Colts taking Derek Barnett out of Tennessee, defensive lineman. I think at this pick, the Colts just need the best available defensive player on the board. Derek Barnett is definitely that. He can play interior, exterior, and also has great footwork as well to get to the quarterback. So this easily is the best defensive player left on the draft board. So I definitely see the Colts taking him at 15.
Yeah, I can see that. Alright, so with the 16th and final pick for this video, we'll do the 17th through 32 in a separate video. We have the Baltimore Ravens selecting Corey Davis from Western Michigan. Absolute beast, just like almost, I guess you can compare him to Mike Williams. 6'3", 209 pounds, had an absolute monster 4 years at Western Michigan, 331 catches, over 5,000 receiving yards with 52 touchdowns. And although he was not at the combine, he could be possibly the most underrated receiver in the draft. And
He's the best,
yeah, and he's
in
just
my opinion.
yeah, really.
Definitely.
Oh, that's what you're about to say.
Yeah.
When I said Mike Williams, you're like,
He's the
nah.
best.
All right, so either him or Mike Williams. It's going to be a good matchup to see what's going on. But Steve Smith Sr. turning 38, Mike Wallace, basically their only threat. Flacco needs a big target, and I mean, it seems like Corey Davis is the best target for him. Very competitive and has an attitude, alpha attitude on the field. So he's going to come out as a leader right out of the gates.
Corey Davis, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the draft.
I think Mike
See his
Wallace.
film, even though he does have a lot of drops, that's the only problem with him. Mike Wallace, Mike Williams, Mike Wallace.
Mike Wallace used to be on the Steelers. That's why I said it.
and he's with the Ravens now.
Oh yeah, and he's with the Ravens.
So I think Corey Davis is the best. He has really great speed, great 50-50 ball winner. I think he's just gonna be better than Mike Williams in the draft.
We're going to have to see. We can debate about this Friday with one of you. But now we're going to carry on to number 17 through 32 in the next video. It should be right. I should have a link down below or something. You'll find it. It just should say episode 2 of the 2017 NFL mock draft with Wanzo Sports Talk.